It annoys me how good he is at this. Like, it would be so much easier to have him suck at this and then dunk on him. But this guy is actually pretty good at this. I think this will be his best match.
Support WrestleTalk!
It's Crown Jewel predictions time. That's right. It's one of the most sports-washing-y times of the year. It's a paid-for show in Saudi Arabia. Are you excited?
So excited.
No, I'm not.
No?
Well, no,
I was trying to feign it.
It looks like a fun show. But yes, please subscribe to WrestleTalk because I will have a full review right after the pay-per-view is done. Pay-per-view? Who am I? I mean, premium live event. And of course, go over to WrestleTalk podcast because Tempest and I will be doing live reactions for Crown Jewel. And we will be competing over that.
Don't touch it. It's mine.
Over that championship belt. But not that crown. Why have you got a crown on?
Because I'm the champion of champions, Ollie. I am the champion of everything. I am that bitch. I'm the Quizzlemania champion. I'm the Jam That champion. LIW's got all the gold.
And some people say you can't have too many gimmicks. Please let us know your Crown Jewel predictions by commenting down below, and we'll be replying to those as the week goes on. This is a curious show because of all the events we've had so far, SummerSlam, Clash at the Castle, Extreme Rules, I would say Triple H is 3 for 3. I would say Clash at the Castle is the best of those,
yes.
But my God, Extreme Rules with the Bray Wyatt return is his best angle. So you can make an argument that Triple H has put on a better show each time he's done a premium live event. I would say this is his biggest challenge so far because WWE is serving two masters. There are the fans, and there is also the guy who's bought this for his birthday party and invited all his mates to come and watch it, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, MBS for short.
For short.
So yeah, I don't know how, it's a clunky mixture of exhibition matches like Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul and Roman Reigns, matches which either no one cares about the outcome or there is no element of surprise in there because Reigns retaining is so predictable.
Right. It feels like a lot of the matches, not all of them, but a lot of the matches on this show are largely inconsequential. It feels like there are a few that are like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, but there's a lot of matches on this show, whether it be that, Braun Strowman and Omos. There's a few that are just like, well, I don't think it matters too much. And then on the other hand, you've got Roman Reigns and Logan Paul, which I believe is a foregone conclusion who's going to win.
One punch.
Yeah, Logan Paul is going to win this match, obviously. Yeah.
Should we get into the show? Let's start with the main event, which is Roman Reigns. They're combined belts, aren't they? He's not just defending one belt here.
He defends both belts at the same time.
So it's the UE.
Yeah.
The UE's on the line.
Chat.
Against Logan Paul, YouTuber Logan Paul. Professional boxer Logan Paul. Who we joke about, but has had 2 performances so far in a WWE ring at Mania and SummerSlam. Both times he was excellent, and at SummerSlam, he was like otherworldly prodigy good.
It annoys me how good he is at this. Like, it would be so much easier to have him suck at this and then dunk on him. But I do get similar levels of enjoyment out of dunking on him for being bad and being like, okay, I'm watching a good wrestling match, begrudgingly that this guy is actually pretty good at this. I think this will be his best match.
Do you think Jake Paul shows up? Because you'll have the Usos, presumably you'll have Solo Sikoa, you'll have Paul Heyman, at least. And Paul, Logan Paul's there. He has a very famous bloodline himself. Brother, at least.
I don't...
Sets up a tag match.
Oh, the Paul brothers versus the Usos. I don't know. It's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Considering everything that I've heard about Jake Paul and just like the speculation that I've heard about him and everything, where it's like, yeah, just make millions upon millions upon millions of dollars with these boxing matches and then just be like, you know what? Time to go have fun. Gonna go be a WWE wrestler. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if he's gonna be anywhere near as good at this as Logan Paul is, but yeah, I've heard crazier things.
But overall, I mean, do you just want to say it at the same time? Our prediction is 3, 2, 1, Logan.
Oh, I baited him. My prediction is Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. The OC versus Judgment Day is a 6-person tag.
Not feeling very OC.
Very good. Put that on a t-shirt. This is... I'm really looking forward to it because I really like the Good Brothers returning. I'm really into the Judgment Day stuff, as is Luke. But I do feel like it's a shame Ray has moved over to SmackDown. I get that they probably want to elongate Ray and Dominic for a WrestleMania reclash, and you don't want to drag that out for 6 months of weekly TV. But yeah, I guess it's good. I just don't know which way this goes.
This one I think is one of the more difficult ones to predict on this show. I could see it going either way, you know? I honestly could, because again, you've got the Good Brothers coming back, and you would think that would kind of lead with a big win, and then you go forward with momentum and everything. But at the same time, I have thought that Judgment Day is going to lose a number of these matches, and they've just kept winning. I don't necessarily think they're like a main event act, but I could see Triple H's thought process of trying to get them there through continued wins. I don't know. This one's tough.
It is tough. You've always got to look at the Kevin Nash style of booking, which is, why do you bring an act back into the company so you can beat them and get your revenge?
Yeah.
So maybe the Good Brothers are coming right into a defeat. I do think it is on a coin flip. So should we just pick either side?
I wouldn't be upset with that.
I'm going to go with the OC.
I was going to say Judgment Day.
Oh, okay.
So it all works out.
Brock Lesnar is taking on Bobby Lashley. Pure exhibition match. Of course, Lesnar set up this angle when he effectively cost Lashley the US title to Seth Rollins. I think this is exactly what Saudi Arabia should be for. Stuff that doesn't really impact week-to-week storytelling is a one and done, and it will slap.
Yeah. I just hope that it does. Because honestly, if you just look at things on paper here, that is one of my most anticipated matches on the show. It's one of the ones I would be the most looking forward to seeing. I just want to see two big meaty men slapping meat. And I hope that we get that here. Because I think you're right. I think this is one of the matches that you can just do on a Saudi Arabia show because it doesn't really matter. It's not going to really build to other things, unless it does. But I think after this, if they just have like a good match and have a winner, I think that's probably the end of Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I think Brock's going to win.
I think Brock is going to win as well.
Choosing Brock. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. This is They haven't had a singles match. No, they
had their
SmackDown.
strap match at Extreme Rules.
Of course they did, yeah. So this is in a steel cage, presumably to keep Scarlett out, but she can still ineffectively blow fireballs through cages, can't she?
Yeah, she caused the finish at Extreme Rules with mace, with a pepper spray.
With the member of Retribution.
Yeah, with Mace. And they put them in a cage where she can still do exactly the same thing.
Might be like I don't know, just a metal box.
Yeah.
And no one
it's
can
the fun
see a
box.
thing.
No, it's a big.
Just
It's the box that they had Magneto in X-Men 2, the big plastic box.
Nice. This is a tricky one because both men kind of need to win. I think Drew has unfortunately dropped right back down the pecking order following Clash at the Castle, which was it was the time to put it on him. But long term, zoom out, I think keeping it on Roman is the right choice. Look at all the fun we're having with the bloodline. Just sucks for Drew. But at the same time, Karrion Kross, it's such a shame because he seems like a lovely bloke, but he just isn't connecting with me, or I would argue all the fans, to the level at which this push deserves. I'm going to go with Drew here. That's more of a heart decision than a head decision because I think Karrion needs the win more, but I just don't think it's working. Karrion won the last match, and maybe the best thing for Kross is for him to transition into this potential Wyatt faction.
I don't know. Maybe. I hadn't really considered that. I'm going to go with Drew as well. I just think that this has kind of run out of legs a little bit. And if you just have Drew win in a steel cage match, I think that's as good a way to blow off this whole thing as anything else.
We've also got Braun Strowman versus Omos in just a big match.
Big match.
It's a big match.
You know,
Height-wise.
once upon a time, Big Show faced the Great Khali at Backlash 2008, and it was terrible. But they stepped in the ring together, and people sat up a little bit.
Vince McMahon was wrong about a lot of things. I think we can see that in hindsight. But he was right about one. When people are really, really tall and they go up against other really, really tall people, there's something in the reptilian part of our brains that goes, hang about. This is a bit tasty, isn't it? I wonder what happens when they hit each other. And then they hit each other and it's actually pretty lame and unsatisfying. But the build to that point is almost worth the excitement.
Almost.
Almost worth the excitement. I'm going to go with Braun. He's one of the best big men wrestlers in this WWE mold in years. Maybe even the last decade.
I would say the last decade at least.
Yeah.
I think he has so much more potential, at least at this point, than Omos does. I can't imagine Omos beats him. I think that would be such a waste of Braun Strowman's return and eventual first loss. I think Braun Strowman wins this one. Can't imagine it'll be great, but I'll sit up in my chair. I'll pay attention.
The Usos are defending their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the Brawling Brutes. Sorry, Rich Holland.
Bowling Brutes.
Brawling.
Who do you think you are? I am.
This will be a great match. I've loved how they've interacted so far. The Sami Zayn Jey Uso angle on SmackDown last week, where Sami was obviously playing possum and Jey brilliant, and allow Brawling Brutes to get the win, which makes you more intrigued. Great way to build the challenges. I think they've done everything right here, but ultimately the Usos retain because you've got to service the bigger story, which is the excellent Bloodline saga.
It's the excellent Bloodline saga, and if this was just a matter of like, oh well, Jey Uso can, mess up, cost them the titles or something like that, I think that would be fine. But we are also doing the story of they're going to be the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. And they're not going to sacrifice that to the Brawling Brutes on a Saudi Arabia show long before we get to that final number. So I think the Usos win this one. I think it's going to be a very good match, maybe the best on the show.
Last woman standing match for the Raw Women's Championship. It's Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Really, Bianca should probably win because, like I said, for those storyline reasons. However, WWE is a sucker for a headline. The Women's Championship changes hands in Saudi Arabia. It is the next step in this slow journey of WWE being at the forefront of PR change, where they got a women's match in Saudi Arabia. Then they let them dress not in baggy t-shirts to wrestle. Instead, they had the far more respectful skin-tight spandex. Now we can have an actual women's championship change, new women's champion, Bayley, in Saudi Arabia.
I don't think you're wrong necessarily. I think this is one of the other ones. If I had to pick one match on this whole show that could go either way, I think it is this one. I would have had Bayley win the title at Extreme Rules. I think that felt like time for Bianca to lose the title, because once you have the babyface keep winning past when fans kind of expect them to lose it, then you run the risk of people being like, oh, okay, let's get to it. That being said, because we do need some of these picks to go both ways, I will go Bianca to retain.
I'm going to play my Joker on Bayley. Double points, double championship points. I think there's enough there.
I think
to decide an eventual winner. Those are our predictions for this Saturday's Crown Jewel Premium Live event. We'll be doing live reactions, me and Tempest, while we'll be competing over this championship.
Don't touch it.
Over that championship belt on the WrestleTalk podcast channel, so go over to there, subscribe, enable notifications, and subscribe right here too to WrestleTalk, because I will have my full edited review of Crown Jewel right after it finishes. But for now, I've been Ollie Davis, this has been Tempest, jam that jam.